Welcome to Christian Nutrition, the show where we review every single episode of VeggieTales. Chronologically. And by we, I mean just me. Welcome to the obvious parody of Disney's Pinocchio. That's right, Big Idea's Pistachio, the little boy that wouldn't. Now, Disney's Pinocchio was released way back in the day, way before you and I were born. And if you were alive when Disney's Pinocchio came out, then I salute you. You are probably the oldest Christian Nutrition viewer. That's impressive. We will all applaud you and salute you. However, Pistachio is the final, and this is sad, but the final release on Blu-ray for VeggieTales. And it was released in 2012, and this is 2010 episode, so things aren't looking up on any more Blu-ray releases, are they? Anyways, let's review Pistachio, the little boy that wouldn't.
Okay, Bob. Follow me.
Larry, I can't see you. How am I supposed to follow you?
Just move this way. Okay, you ready for this?
Extreme Redo Crying Edition. What are they talking about?
Well,
It's a curtain.
Not just any curtain, Bob, but a very beautiful curtain. The most elegant curtain you've probably ever seen in your entire life. That curtain, Bob, that curtain.
while you were on vacation last week, the crew from Extreme Redo Crying Edition came in and redid the kitchen. We've had a total kitchen makeover.
This whole reference to Extreme Makeover Home Edition is dated, even for 2010. I remember watching this show in high school in like 2005, 2006, and that was really when it was popular. But after that, it kind of just went, because it's the same thing almost every episode. And if you don't understand this reference that they're trying to make, let me explain it to you. So in this show, there's a host who comes straight out of 1997. No, he doesn't time travel out of 1997. He just looks like he's out of 1997. Like, it's uncanny how much he looks like he's still in the late 90s. Anyway, so he comes to somebody's house and he's like, hey man, we're here to redo your house. And they're like, what? We had no idea. And it's like their neighbors put them in for it, or their family, or sometimes themselves. Oh, I didn't even know. I just had no idea. And they're like, yeah, we're totally gonna send you on a vacation. We hope you have off from work so you can do that. And they're always like, of course we can. We had no idea you guys were coming over. We would have cleaned up. And they're like, well, totally. We're gonna redo your house, so go on vacation. So they go, and they go on vacation. They'll get like one video clip or maybe two while they're on vacation, where the Extreme Makeover Home Edition people, while they're making them a new house, will send them like clips like, oh, we're destroying a wall. And they're like, oh no, not our wall, not our house. What's gonna happen? And so like they know what's gonna happen. So anyways, these people come back from vacation after like a week, because it takes them a week to build the house with like a ton of people. It's a ton. And they come back and there's like a bus in their way. I don't know how they didn't see the house on the way up there. Maybe they blindfolded them, but whatever. So there's a bus in the way and they're like, come on, let's do this. The epic reveal for TV. Move that bus. And they move the bus. And then the mom and the dad will be like, I can't believe the generosity. I had no idea. And then the host will be like, yes, and we also got you a couple new cars, courtesy of Ford. And be like, Ford. And be like really nice shots of the car. Be like, whoa, man, Ford's really nice to donate these cars. I remember one episode, this kid got like a room just dedicated to his filmmaking, and he got like a brand new computer to edit on, and he got like this nice filmmaking. And I'm like, dude, you should be super thankful. Like, that stuff's not cheap. But the kid's just like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty. Oh man, thank you so much. Yeah. You ungrateful little. Anyway, so hopefully you get the data reference now, so we can proceed with this episode and you understand what's going on.
Get ready to feel great.
Pull that curtain! Ooh, you guys are amazing.
Is that pillows? Wow, they really went all out this time.
The place has been completely transformed.
It, looks the same to me.
Would kids who watched VeggieTales in 2010 even understand this episode? I had to think back to me watching the show to even understand this. Like, usually VeggieTales jokes aimed at adults are like one-liners or just some silly reference, and stuff that it's quick and the kids like won't know, so they'll be like, oh, what was that about? But here it's like a whole scene. It doesn't make much sense. So hopefully you've seen the show and you're a kid. I don't know.
Hi, Cordy. Greetings, Larry.
Ah, Gordy, is that you?
Ah! What happened to QWERTY? Is that a Terminator? Will Skynet be taking over soon?
I've got mail.
You've never had mail before, buddy, and now you do. How's that feel?
I feel like a million bits.
This is so cringe-inducing. Can we just move on, please?
Once upon a time, in the small Italian town of Bologna Salami.
Hey, buongiorno! What are you doing? Pizzeria!
This feels very much like they're stereotyping Italians within the little box that you already think of Italians. I'm pretty sure that one guy said pizzeria. It's just somewhere in his response.
There lived a lonely toy maker named Gelato.
Just because I talk to toys doesn't make me lonely.
He's carving the bunny from Rack, Shack, and Benny. Veggieception confirmed. We learned that Gelato, aka Larry, miscast in a role that Bob should have clearly played, has an assistant named Cricket who is just a caterpillar worm thing from Jonah. Yeah, that caterpillar worm thing. Yeah, you really missed him, haven't you? Which is awkward as he also owns ducks who probably want to eat him. Yeah, which is fine by me though. Gelato never married or had children in the past. He also had 3 brothers named Milano, Espresso, and Dorito who were lost at sea delivering meatballs to Boyardee. Really, VeggieTales? Really? You know, there's a fine line between silly and witty and silly and dumb. You're not on this line. You're not on this side. In fact, you've left the side a long time ago. This side's not even an option. You have been over here. This whole episode, just over here. Gelato sings a song about parenthood, and what do you know? Pa Grape randomly offers him a free piece of wood that jumps. Yes, a piece of wood that jumps. Why does he do this? An explanation would be too easy. We would know too much. We are told it is wood from a pistachio tree, and that's it. That doesn't explain why it jumps, but whatever. Gelato spends an entire night carving a special toy, a toy that looks just like Junior. Why? Why are we being submitted to this punishment?
Whoa! Whoa! Hey! Whoa!
This is great!
Hey, wait, come back!
Junior, I would take you and immediately throw you into that fire. No questions asked. You see, guys, it's okay because he's like made of wood and he's not the real Junior, so he's an abomination, and that's cool. Gelato tells Pistachio he needs to stop being a selfish child and listen to him since Gelato is his dad and knows what is best for him. You know, a piece of wood just comes to life when Gelato carves it and he's like, yeah, that's acceptable. You're my child now. But nowhere else in the episode are people like, yeah, that's how the rest of the world works. They're like, oh my gosh, a boy made of wood.
Just pictures? Boring.
You'll see, Pistachio. There's nothing like art to help you find your way.
It's your first day alive. Let me teach you some important stuff. Or not, let's just take you to an art museum, because that makes sense, Gelato. Good parenting. Yeah, you can see why you never had kids or got married. Wouldn't it be funnier and make more sense if you had to teach it, like Junior here, the basics of life? I mean, he's a piece of wood that just came to life. There has to be some laughs in that whole premise. A bunch of movies and shows have done it, and it's been funny. Gelato ignores all logic and teaches Pistachio the story of the shepherd who had 100 sheep but searched for the one missing sheep. Pistachio has never experienced something as simple as seeing the sunset, yet here we are, giving him deep life lessons. Pistachio feigns interest in the subject and cons Gelato out of 5 cents for what he says is going to be an art book. That's what he says he's going to buy with it, but it's actually for a puppet show that's taking place a mere 25 feet away from Gelato. This causes his nose to grow and makes me curious as to whether a joke about wood getting longer could be PG. Anyways, Junior sees the puppet show and Mr. Nezer notices that he is a puppet without strings and tries to kidnap him. First off, chalk up another business venture that Mr. Nezer is a part of. Now, this doesn't look like it's one of his more successful ones, but it's another one he's in charge of, and I understand his motivations here. What I don't understand is Gelato's. Pistachio's been alive for less than 24 hours, and you're just going to let him run off with 5 cents to go get an art book? You couldn't go with him? Like, what's so important in an art museum? Nothing's going to run away or leave, or nothing's timely in an art museum. You can come back and look at the same painting. We're talking about a mere 25 feet, guys. He could have walked Pistachio over there, made sure that his child, who's less than a day old, doesn't get kidnapped or die or something stupid. I really do 100% blame Gelato for everything that's happened in this episode. I don't blame Junior at all. Junior, this one episode where you have no sins. Do whatever you want because it's clearly going to be Gelato's fault. Junior escapes with 5 gold coins that fall out of Mr. Nezer's pocket when suddenly...
Oh, I wonder who these belong to.
What seems to be the problem, little log?
I'm not a log. I'm a toy.
They're really making this parody to be as close to the original as possible with just some extra Christian values. It's almost making me ask, what's the point? Why even remake? There's almost nothing, new or funny about this. It feels like I'm watching Pinocchio all over again with nothing new added and nothing funny. It just feels pointless. And I hate to say it, but I'd rather see a Snoodles tale again. At least with the Snoodles tale, they were attempting to be original. I can't believe I'm saying that. I'd rather see a Snoodles. Oh no, we're in for a bad episode here, aren't we? If you've seen Pinocchio, then you know exactly where this is headed. The fox and his friend find Pistachio and they decide to con him out of his money with some rigged games. They succeed by taking Pistachio to the carnival. They run at the docks on the beach, but when they get to Pistachio's final coin...
And now it's time for obscure Broadway show tunes with Larry, the part of the show where Larry comes out and sings an obscure Broadway show tune.
Yes, finally, something new and original and not just a retread of something we've seen before, done better.
We don't have much time before the big meeting.
No, we don't.
An overdramatic Broadway show tune set inside an office. Color me intrigued.
Where have all the staplers gone? What happened to our paper clips?
If they ever make a Broadway version of Office Space, this song should be in there. This song is perfect.
Do you remember when the rubber bands were in their place?
They're in the middle drawer.
Now this is silliness done right. Bravo, VeggieTales, bravo. I applaud you. This is what the whole episode should be. Original and funny and new.
Legal pads aplenty. Highlighters in every hue.
I remember.
Remember Chewbacca again? Oh, I love to remember Chewbacca. Remember?
This has been Obscure Broadway Show Tunes with Larry. Tune in for Act 2, Revenge of the Staplers.
Ooh, Revenge of the Stapler sounds exciting. Why couldn't this Broadway show just be the whole episode? An over-dramatization of office life done by veggies. Please make this happen. Please. But unfortunately, this is not the episode where this happens. So back to our humdrum episode about Pinocchio. We see Gelato look for him and somehow completely skips checking the dock and immediately goes out to sea during a storm. Okay, this is just absurd. Just rewatch what happens here. Oh, and just keep in mind, this whole like dock is thin and narrow. It's not like huge and just massive and like there's just so much. And even if it was, this wouldn't make sense. Are you kidding me, Gelato? Let's really break down what has happened here. All Gelato has to do when he walks down the stairs is look down the pier. That's it. It's no big deal as he is already there. But nope. He's like a horse with blinders on as he skips taking a simple glance to see if his toy son is down that pier and instead goes on his boat. I am so dumbfounded right now. I am seriously dumbfounded. The lack of common sense being shown to us and they're asking us to accept is just so blatantly dumb. Like this episode could just be a bland episode, but instead it's shooting itself in the foot and making possibly the worst VeggieTales episode we have reviewed so far. And there aren't many left, you guys. There aren't many left. So this could very well go down as the worst VeggieTales episode. Just the lack of common sense. It doesn't make any sense. And it's all in the service of a plot so that we can just see Pinocchio again. Why? Junior gets fooled into losing his last coin and gets launched into the sea where Gelato is eaten by a whale. No, Gelato is not Jonah. That was a much better episode / movie. Jonah was at least likable, smart, and his decisions made sense. Even with hindsight, we all knew what was going to happen. Junior gets washed up on shore and continues lying to people. This causes his hard nose made of wood to keep getting longer. I apologize to all of you watching for having to hear that come out of my mouth. But that's what's happening in this episode. Eventually, Junior and the caterpillar worm thing get eaten up by the same whale as Gelato. This has to be bad deja vu for the caterpillar worm thing. I mean, that's probably the only reason he's in this episode. Junior finds Gelato and his missing brothers who are somehow surviving for much longer than they really should be. We then get to see the whale from the outside with music still being heard. Junior did this already, and it did it much better. Junior learns to stop lying and his nose grows back to normal. Thank goodness, Gelato, Pistachio, and the rest of the gang of Scallywag escape what is essentially just the whale's stomach, and that's the end of the episode.
Wasn't that a great story, Bob?
It sure was.
You know, this whole thing would have been better if it had not been made 70 years ago already by Disney, or 8 years ago when it was made by Big Idea.
What do you think, guys?
I love what you've done with the place. Baloo. Very tasteful.
An ambience I can't refuse.
Guys, it's a throw pillow and blue walls.
You know, Godfather references aside, I do agree with Bob. This isn't much different. It just has blue walls now. It's like when Nostalgia Critic made his change. Like, not really all that much change with the wall. Except for they started adding in all those dumb skits. But that's a whole different discussion.
Honor your father and mother. This is the first commandment with a promise. If you honor your father and mother, things will go well for you, and you will have a long life on the earth. Always remember, God made you special.
And he loves you very much.
Bye!
That was Pistachio, the boy that wouldn't. And wow, what a waste of time. What a waste of an episode. And I apologize for all of you having to watch that. I skipped over so much of it, and it's because when I watch this, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And then I rewatched it, and I'm like, no, they're not joking. They're serious. And then I had to script this episode, and I'm like, I can't do this to you guys. It's too much. It's honestly too much. The common sense is just so lackluster. It's just a bad episode. This had Snoodle levels of stupid with Easter Carol levels of pointlessness. If it wasn't for the Broadway show tune being in this episode, I would consider this episode not even canon, not even VeggieTales canon. But unfortunately it is. It exists. It's part of our universe, and we have to accept it. Though I do encourage all of you to burn every copy of Pistachio you find in protest if Lifeway does their stupid $5 sale of that episode, which by the way explains why I see so many sales this episode. Everywhere I see I'm like, why is Pistachio on sale? Why is Pistachio on sale? It's because it's a terrible episode. Burn them all! Stay tuned as we break chronological order for like the 100th time now and review 'Twas the Night Before Easter. Yet another Christmas original story that's being turned into something else for Easter. It's just an Easter version of the Christmas story. I don't know, guys. I haven't watched it yet, and I'm hoping it's good. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Remember that God made you special, and he loves you very much. Bye.
So after that bankruptcy, all you did at that point was provide voices. You did no writing.
I wrote 2 scripts.
You wrote 2 scripts.
I wrote 2 scripts. I wrote The Wizard of Oz and The Lord of the Beans.